What's going on YouTube? Clark's Garage here, back at you with another video 6 months later. At the beginning of this video, I'm just going to do a quick wrap up about where I've been, what I've got going on, and then we're going to jump straight into the Fairlane behind me because I got some stuff to show you guys, some stuff to go over, so just stay tuned. Alright guys, again, here is the 57 Fairlane 500. I did do an introduction video over this car. It wasn't too much, I didn't say just a whole lot about it, but I have since then done some work to this car, and I really like to go over what you guys have been missing out. So as of right now, we've got a new rebuilt front end underneath this thing. It's been lowered. I've got some wheels and tires put on it. It looks great. It runs great. Well, it did, and that's going to bring me to part 2 of our current stage on this car. So as much as I would love to give you guys a cold start of this thing, let you hear this 302 sing again, it's not running right now because I have the fuel tank pulled from it. The fuel tank is pulled from it because after I got this car put together, I went to take it to our first show here in town. That's literally just a couple miles up the road. And I had to get towed back home by a buddy of mine in the rain because I had put a can of Behrman B12 in the fuel tank, and it broke up a lot of stuff. It got to the front. It actually managed to make its way through that pump and into the carb and clogged the whole thing up. So of course, after that, I was like, yep, it's time for some fuel system cleanup because I hadn't really touched it on this car. It did already run when we got it. I think we cleaned out the carb like one time on it because it wouldn't really stay running. But after that, it ran great, chopped great, and I went straight to front end parts, getting it done because I wanted to drive it. I wanted to take it to our first little show before taking it out of town anywhere just to see how the car did. But anyway, guys, like I said at the beginning of the video, I have been gone for 6 months. I've had a lot happen since now and then. I did go through a separation, so I'm back here at it with you guys. I'd love to bring you along. I've got so much stuff to do going forward. I can't even begin to list all of it. And I know some of you guys are wondering, okay, what about the blue Nissan? The blue Nissan, I did have to get in a hurry on that truck and get it finished up and get it back to its owner's house. So it is back with him. There's still a couple things left to do on it, nothing crazy, but the guy said I could come at any time I wanted to and check it out, look over some stuff, order some parts, and just get it wrapped up. But all the major stuff on that truck's done. I got it done, got it back to him. He's happy with it. So now we're gonna turn straight to this monster here behind me, because we've got some door panels to put on, and this window on this side is out of the car. For some reason, I found it in the trunk, and somebody had a piece of plastic up there in the window to keep rain out of it, and it wasn't doing a good job. So I did find the regulator and the window sitting in the trunk, and I've got some parts from a different parts car that we used to own that's sitting at a buddy of my dad's house. So I'm fixing to just hop straight and get it put on this car and then talk about some future plans. Here we've got a window regulator. The rest of the hardware is laying on the floor right there. I set it there because I didn't want to lose it. Please ignore the 2 jugs of gas sitting in here. I didn't have anywhere else to put at the time, and the windows on the car are down. I needed to pump them out from the tank whenever I want to pull the tank because I wasn't fixing to drop the tank with all that old gas in it. So where I'm going to get started on this thing is that this bracket here mounts on the inside of this door like this. Now this bracket came off a different parts car because this one was missing it for some reason, and I did notice that the screw alignment is a little bit different on this part versus whatever was on this car from the factory. Now I've got a step bit here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill just one more small hole right there. It's only like half an inch difference, if even that, so I don't think making this one work off of the 59 parts car that came off of, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I mean, I'm just going to put a real neat hole in it right there, slap this sucker in, and we're going to try to go from there. So here we've got our funny shaped window regulator here. I know you're looking at this and going, what the heck? These are actually really simple. It mounts in the car pretty easily. I did have to pull a roller off of the other car as well because this one has the rollers for the window end. But then this tab down here, this is where the roller goes that goes inside that bracket that I just pointed out to you guys. So we're gonna have to get that sucker mounted on and get it clipped on, and then we can try to set this in the door. But first things first, I'm gonna try to get this bracket nailed in on this door, or bolted in, I should say. And then we'll try to go from there and see if we can make something work. Also, this window isn't in bad shape either. The only kind of imperfection it's got a real thin crack right down through here, which I don't even know if you can tell it through the camera or not, but it's there. But that's all I can find wrong with it. Other than that, it's in super great shape. I think it'll clean up really well. So let's go ahead and try to get this bracket put in and see if we can get this regulator thrown in. Alrighty guys, here we are. Some of you Ford guys are gonna notice that this big round washer back here, this is the original one, this one's not, but it is the same style and it does work perfectly for that hole that I had to put in the door. Honestly, I had to make this one a tiny bit bigger too because this bolt wouldn't fit just right through that factory slot, so I found that interesting. But next, let's see if we can fit a regulator in. Let's get started. Hey guys, so I'm actually having to make a quick run to the hardware store because the mounting bolts for this regulator are missing. So I've got the regulator in the passenger seat with me. I'm fixing to run up to my local Atwoods and see what they have that I can install. There's a bucket of bolts sitting in the trunk of this car, and I just looked through it trying to find one. None of them fit, and half those bolts are wood screws. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm fixing to head up to Atwoods because I know they'll have what I'm looking for. And I'm taking this thing with me so I can't mess up. This has got to be one of the best sounding Vortex I think I have ever heard. The camera's not going to pick up the true tone of this truck, but it sounds so good. I would definitely make a separate video about this truck, going over everything that I've done to it if you guys are interested, because, I mean, I daily drive this thing, and it is my baby. It sounds so freaking incredible. If you can hear the rear end, just ignore that. It needs to be rebuilt again. That's my fault. As far as exhaust on this truck goes, it's literally just shorty headers, it's stock cats, and I've got a MagnaFlow straight through muffler. The best sounding setup I think I've ever heard for one of these trucks. It sounds incredible. And we are here. Alright guys, we made it. This should be a standard thread setup for this deal. Yes, I brought it in the store because I've got to get the right stuff. It's probably going to be one of these guys here, so I'm going to dig through this and see what I can find. Alright guys, I am backing out of the very, very busy parking lot over at my local Atwoods. So I was able to find some hardware that works. So I'm going to make my way back to my dad's house and hopefully get a window put in a car. This truck's also tanned as well, so it is pretty sensitive, but it shifts great. It's a lot of fun to drive, honestly, for being a 6,000-pound truck. Alright guys, give you a quick look-see at what I'm dealing with over here. We got this fixed, it's on the door, and I've got the regulator started in with these screws that I had to get. So right now, the issue that I'm running into, if my daggone camera will focus, is, hey, you guys probably can't see it, but there is a, yeah, there it is, that roller right there. I already had it on that pin, and I'm trying to slide it in the rail, but the screw, the back side of it, I think it's designed to act as a stopper so that it keeps these rollers right here in between the two. So what I've got to do now is I've just got to simply, I already took the clip off that holds the roller on, but I'm gonna have to pop the roller off, pull the regulator pan out of it, move the roller towards the center, pop it back in, and then we'll see if this thing can work. I did get a, well, I've actually got several. I've got some handles that were also just laying in the trunk, which that door has one on it, but this one does not. So I'm gonna try to put it on there and see if I can get this thing to work. Maybe with some lithium grease, we'll see how it cleans up. Alrighty guys, well I got me a handle on here and we have full operation. So this guy moves down, that guy moves through there, goes to one end, boom, bottomed out, and then to go back up, both these guys come up. Awesome, I'm glad we could get this done. I'm tired of having issues every time I go to work on something around here. Alright guys, well it's time to take the top of the door out. I completely forgot about this part. The my good condition window, I really don't want to risk messing it up, and it is impossible to get in here with the top of the frame coming out. Now the cool thing is this is a 2-piece frame, because I'm pretty sure they use the same doors on the hardtop cars. So this stuff here is literally just bolted in. You unbolt it, it pulls right out. I can go ahead and set my window and my regulator on my 2 rollers that are in here that I showed you guys a minute ago, and then we'll be able to slide top of our door back in, bolts everything up, and we'll be all done. So I will update you guys in just a second as soon as I get started. Real quick, so we're not missing anything, I've got this guy mounted on the inside of the door. I've got my screws. For some reason, this guy right here isn't perfectly lined up, but those 2 are good and tight. I've got the crank in there, all those screws lined up real well, so it's good and tight now. And I mean, like I said, or like I showed you guys earlier, I put one of my mini hand cranks on there, and it rolls up and down perfectly fine. So we've got our roller off of our parts car down there. Well, actually, yeah, the plastic roller itself came from the parts car, and so did this frame that the roller slides in. The actual regulator itself, it came out of the trunk of this car. So I'm guessing this window was the original window out of this car too. We're gonna get this sucker taken out, the top half of this, pull it out real quick. It's just got a bolt at the top there, bolt on the bottom. It's got a couple I've already taken off up there, and then it's got this guy down here that I've already pulled off as well. It goes right there. So anyway, I'll update you guys in just a second, let you know how it goes. And just a helpful little side tip, whenever you're going to take stuff apart like this that's been together a long time, make sure you take pictures of where all your nuts and bolts were and what type they were and all the above before you take this stuff apart, because especially on this older stuff here, you need to put it back just the way you found it. Well, ladies and gents, we have our window in our regulator, and before it falls off and comes crashing on the ground and this whole video is a waste, I'm gonna go ahead and put our top back on the door so we can have a nice and pretty complete door. What y'all think about that? I'm pretty excited for it. I know this isn't anything major, but what I'm really excited for is getting my door panels on this car, because I do have some really cool door panels for it that came with it. So if I can just get this bad boy straightened out, and see it's got this one crack in it here, which you can clearly see it now. Other than that, this window's in great shape. So matter of fact, none of the windows on this car are in bad shape. The windshield has a small crack in it on this corner that kind of goes around, and the front's a little messed up. But other than that, the rest of the windows are pretty good. Hell, even the back glass is perfect. So, hey, working with what we got, man. Man, this little guy here is screwing my entire evening up. I'm gonna have to take it off. This is the part of the window stopper for the bottom. And what happens is that whenever you go to put this thing in here, this sticking out like this, like a daggum sore thumb, is It's running into the door opening closer mechanism deal that's in there. So I'm gonna have to unbolt it, and I hope this clip's good enough where it stays on. I'm gonna have to unbolt it, take it off, slide this back in there, and then hopefully put it back on through the hole in the bottom of the door. Reach up in there and do it, because this guy here is making me to where I have to turn this at a 90-degree angle to get past everything, and I can't do it that way because my channel needs to be sliding down over the window. And I did try out the window down. I tried it with the halfway down, and it's the same deal with this guy here. So I'm fixing to take this bolt out right here and then screws from the other side. Fixing to take it off and to see if it makes this job a little easier. All right, fellas, here I am coming back at you from under the car. I have discovered that my pin that I had to put the roller on, I showed you guys that the clip that holds that roller, the position that it's in on the roller isn't far enough down for it to actually hold itself to the pin. Pin itself is actually hitting the door. So what I think I'm going to have to do is pop this this one side of this regulator back down and find a way to grind the tip of it off some and put the roller back on, and then hopefully I can press it down on the roller far enough for the clip to hold it, because it keeps popping out and it's causing the window to not want to go all the way up in one corner. So how this regulator works is the crank on this side has a gear on the bottom of it, and it moves one rod up this way, and just it's hard to explain. There's an X in the middle of the door like this, okay, and as the rod that comes off of it that goes down to here, as it moves against the gear, it brings it in and out like that. Now this bottom corner is going right in here. There's a slider on the inside of here, and the roller is supposed to move back and forth inside there. So it goes obviously to that corner of the window, which, as you can see, that top corner of the window is sagging. So I got to looking and I found out that that piece on the regulator keeps popping out of the slider right here. So I tried to put the stock clip back on, but as you guys could see, the pin itself is bottoming out and hitting the door. You can hear it's making contact with the door before it gets far enough into the roller for the clip that's on the back of the roller to lock itself in place. So that's the issue that I'm dealing with right now. I'm going to try to get a solution to that figured out. I'm probably just going to grind the tip of that pin off like I told you guys. This isn't a big dollar project. Yes, I have done a lot of work to this car, and I do want my door panels on, and I want everything to work properly, but I'm not fixing to go out and buy an entire new regulator just because of that. I mean, does that make sense? This stuff is from a couple different cars, from this one and the 59 parts car that I was telling you guys about. Not my blue and white car, not that car. This is a completely different car. It's junk. Don't even stress it. It is a two-door car as well. I can't remember if it's a hardtop or not, but it's junk. We've just been using it as a parts car. There's so much gone off of it. So anyway, let me think of something. I'll figure out how to get this fixed, and I'll get back with you guys here in just a second. Now, some of you may be asking yourselves, why did he name this channel this way over here on YouTube? And I'm fixing to tell you why. Well, this here is a grinder, and this here is our piece that has now have the head shaved off of it, because since it's bottoming out, I needed a way to grind the tip off of it. So I made the stock hole just a little bit bigger, and I held it through, and then I used the grinder with the other hand to grind the tip off of it, so that way I don't have to take the regulator back out. So now we're going to put our piece back in the door, and we're going to see if we can make this work. Hey guys, I'm back with another quick little update. My clip on my roller down there is not good. It's my rod here keeps popping out of it out of the roller because the clip just ain't good enough to hold it on there. So I'm fixing to run to town again for the second time. I've got to get a new clip of some kind because it is very important that that rod stays in there because it's what controls this corner of this window, and it won't keep it up if the rock keeps popping out. So I will be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm fixing to head home. It's been gotten really dark. I did get the window finished though. It is in the car. There's still about a ½ inch gap or so at the top of it whenever you roll it up. I don't really know what that's about. Honestly, I think that regulator just might be janky. But anyway, I'm gonna come back here tomorrow, and we've got some fuel system stuff we're gonna be checking out tomorrow. So I'll be filming another video then and updating you guys. So I appreciate you for watching. Thank you for coming this far. I know about the midway to the end of the video, things got kind of short, you know, just jump cuts. But I did make some progress today. I'll make some more progress tomorrow. Keep you guys in touch. Thanks. Bye.